Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a way I prep my Traveller games now. This is relatively new to me. I've only used it one or two times. If you follow my channel, you know we haven't played Traveller since May because Traveller is the one game that everybody wants to be in on. So I don't run it if somebody has to miss a session, and with vacations and extra work and such, we haven't all been together for a game in the last couple of months. So now as the fall is coming on, we'll actually have a little more time, and because of that, we're going to be playing Traveller for the next few weeks. Part of that is, of course, game prep. I have to, as the GM, I've got to game prep, get everything all set. And this is something I've been doing for a little while now. I load in elements of the various books that I need. So this is under my Traveller Avastin campaign. And then I load in little PDFs that I was able to make. What I do is I have many of the PDFs from buying them on DriveThruRPG or getting them with purchase from Mongoose. You get the PDF with it. And it occurred to me that if I were to take the PDF and then just take part of it, I could load up a file with just the elements I need. And the way I do this, I can't really show it because I don't want to give up any details on my printer or anything like that. But all you do is when you are in the document, so say you're in the Central Supply Catalog and you want to take care of, you want to load up, for instance, there you go. You want to load up augments. This is the one I happened to choose that I got one extra page I didn't want. But I want to have the augments at my fingertips. Well, why? Well, while I'm prepping the game, I'm going to need quick reference to it. But also while we're playing, I'm the only one that buys the Traveller books, which means that I'm the only one that has the physical copies of the books. I put them on the table, and then the players go through it, and they have free access to it, and they can do whatever they want. Sometimes the books aren't available, or sometimes if I'm working on the campaign, I don't have a space where I can have a bunch of books open. If I'm working just sitting in my chair, I have decided to do this. And what this is showing all the augments and such that the players have gotten over the last few months, or last couple of games. They've gotten some augments. Not all of those, of course, are augments they've gotten, but several. So I've gone ahead and I've made PDFs of the PDF. And all you do is go into your little print setting, click on the print icon, the printer picture itself, and then it'll drop down and it'll ask you to go to your printer, change that, and make it go to print as PDF. Once you print as PDF, go down to what pages, and mine defaults to the entire book. Just go in and find the pages that you want to have. So for instance, in the Traveller Core Rulebook Update, I went ahead and I copied training. So there we go. It's just one page. There's nothing else. But this way, if the players ask me a question about training, or if they want to train while they're in jump space or something like that, I at least have it quickly at my fingertips. And I've done this with several things in here, and it's working pretty well. It's funny because the only game I do anything like this for is Traveller. Every other game I use pen and paper, pencil and paper, as I've always done. Traveller, for whatever reason, since I've had access to computers since the 90s, I always like to prep Traveller on computer. I'm sure it's a psychological thing because it's a space game and all that other stuff. But whatever the reason, I've really liked just using a computer to prep it and to have little things like this at my fingertips. The books are fantastic, and I have the full PDFs on all these items, but this way I have it quickly at my fingertips, like Avastin. This is from Mongoose JTAZ Volume 9, and I can load it up, and boom. There's the article on Avastin, which is the planet that my players have been on, and they're working with it, but I've got all the information right here, and I don't have to thumb through, try to remember which issue it was in, and thumb through till I get to the right one. I'm able to just isolate this and bring it out. So it's worked really well for me. The other thing I've done is I made a little ship file, and there we have it. Let's see, we're going to have, there's going to be a Sword World's Patroller, a cruiser that's going to come into the space. They're in District 268 in Avastin's system, which is a fair piece from the Sword Worlds, but the Fifth Frontier War has just started up, and I'm going to be reflecting that in my game, even though we're not right on the front. The Sword Worlds are nearby, and I'm sending this ship in as a probe by the Sword Worlds. So the players are going to have to decide what they're going to do dealing with this ship. It's tech level 11. It's got some weaponry. It's not a real tough nut to crack, but they have to have the right stuff in place to take care of it. But this way I've got it right at my fingertips. So let's take a look. This is the first book, or first ship they had when they started the campaign, Scout Courier. I took this from the main rule book. There it is. And as I said, I simply went in and told it print which page. In this case, it's 190, but there's the cover too on the PDF. So it's actually 191. So I told my printer to print to PDF 191, 192. This is no different than copying it and having it at my fingertips, but I've just found a way to do it electronically, and I thought, hey, this worked really well. I've been doing this for a while now, and I thought I'd share it. So there you go. I've got anything I want here. Here's a Far Trader that they also have access to in the game, and there she is. So I love doing this. I think this is a really neat way to do it, just to make a mini PDF for myself, give myself all these files at my fingertips so I can do whatever I need to do. And then just go back, and then I'm back to the other stuff. So, for instance, let's see. Training and skills I already showed. Augments. Several of my players have opted to use some of their spare cash and get augments. Here they are. Well, actually, this is the parachute, because I actually did the page numbers wrong, so that happens. But here are the augments right here. It's very handy. It's very quick reference for me to have my tablet just sitting there off to the side. I don't have to find out where the book is, because the books get passed around during the game. I'm the only one with physical copies of the books, or PDFs for that matter. So I leave the books on the table, my players use those, and I'm using these. A lot of the stuff I can do right off the top of my head, I don't need a book for, but when I do need a book, this is very handy. So this is just how I'm doing it. Eventually what I'm planning on doing is incorporating an e-copy of all their characters in this file. So I'll take a look at the armor, for instance. I can just have it there. I've called up the armor. There it is. This is armor the players would have access to, and I've got all the information right at my fingertips. So if a firefight breaks out, or I need to know other information, how many rads the armor can take, whatever, I actually have that right at my fingertips, and it's very handy. So I've really enjoyed doing it this way. I have a lot of the D&D core books on PDF. I've bought them from DriveThruRPG over the years just to have them on PDF because I like to read on my tablet, and it's very convenient to have this stuff with me when I'm away from home. As you may or may not remember, we've been caring for an ailing family member for the last few years. The ailing family member is finally in a nice facility where she's taken care of, so we're not there as much. But this was how I read when we were having to stay 24/7 to care for her. This was how I read, and I've gotten hooked on PDFs because of that. So, like I say, it's just another quick way. I have the PDF of the Central Supply catalog because I bought it, but I don't necessarily want that at the table. I want a quick reference, and this is just an easy way to make a quick reference. So anything you have on PDF, you can go ahead and shrink down like this through using the little printer PDF mode, and then you can go from there. So it's just my idea. It's the new way I've been prepping my game. I really enjoy it. I love having this information at my fingertips while we're playing. My players have reacted positively to it too, because it keeps the game flowing better. I'm not having to slow things down to look up details. And incidentally, I usually don't slow a game down to look up details. I will usually just say, okay, tonight we're doing it this way. I'll look it up and we'll find out next time. But this way I am able to short circuit even a little bit of that. So anyway, it's just what I've been doing lately. Let me know what you think. If you do something similar, or if you think this is something that you would never use, I'm interested in comments. Also, if anybody knows the program where I could call up a screen on my laptop and I could do my video on what is showing on my laptop, that's how I originally wanted to do this video. If anybody knows the name of that program and where I can access it, I'd really appreciate it. Just throw it in the comments below. I would like to start being able to do that, try to be a little more professional with the channel. I'm always trying to think of ways to improve the channel, and actually that's what this came out of, because I was trying to think of some way to have this at my fingertips for the channel, and I came up with this idea. So, but that's it today for page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments below, especially if you know the name of that program. Like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, tell your friends to keep growing the channel. Also take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. The channel has been growing nicely through Patreon and through subscriptions, but it could grow faster. This summer, I always see a drop-off in subscriptions. It's just part of the nature. I'm hoping as the colder weather comes in, at least in the Chicagoland area, that I'll see some more people. So that's all I've got today on page 121. I thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.